Welcome to the Disneyville podcast, episode 24
We are almost
to 25. So,
what is that? Isn't there like a name for when it's like your 25th birthday? I feel like we're going to have our quarter life crisis for sure.
No, I've gone through that like 3 or 4 times.
Me too.
So I don't know how old I'm going to be, but
I remember when I felt like I was having a quarter life crisis, looking up quarter life crisis. And I'm like, yeah, I think I check all the boxes. But what does it mean if you're having it in your 30s? You'll live to 120.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm operating off of living to 100. I hope so.
Yeah, but 130, easy.
Easy.
Got another 100 years to go, guys. So today we're talking about Disney's Hollywood Studios, the unsung hero of Disney parks sometimes, I feel like.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I don't know what you had in mind when we were kind of creating this list, but I almost feel like there needs to be, like, these are like hidden gems a little bit. But I almost feel like hidden gems is not right. Like it's unappreciated. But
underrated a little bit.
But I feel like we need to do another episode on specifically like the hidden gems, if you will. Like there's so many little things like Gertie's footprints and like all these like the hidden magic of Hollywood Studios. That should be like a separate episode.
Well, that book, Hidden Magic, was like one of the original books that got us really, really into like those hidden things in Disney parks.
And then Jim Korkis has so many books, and they're all so fascinating. Mm-hmm. Those are really good too. But yeah, like all the little like Imagineering like hidden things. That's not what this is. These are like underrated
things to actually do, see, eat, watch, whatever.
I think we also at some point need to do like top 5 things we miss in Hollywood Studios. Because going through this list today, I'm like, there are so many. You got the hat. I loved the hat.
Don't go through the list.
Well, like Streets of America, like so much has changed.
Oh. Okay, but you're right.
So
much has changed. It's still there, just not
really.
the right. It's just not
different
right.
Sid.
Yeah, it's Sid's brother. Lid.
It's Sid Coenga's brother, Sid Coenga.
Sid 1 and Sid 2. Okay.
Anyway.
We are off the rails. I have to say, this coffee. We don't really need to do a mugshot today. You're just drinking iced coffee in a ball jar.
I need a coaster, though. I don't have one down here.
But I've just got one. I think we've already showed it. I got it because I was thinking of like Animation Courtyard, like that vibe. Because it's like the drawings and animations of Mickey Mouse. I think we got this at Big Lots years ago. We've had this for so long.
And I'm pretty sure we've shown it several times. So.
And actually, I think someone maybe had sent us years ago the Minnie Mouse version, or maybe it's vice versa, something. Love that.
Also, I'm dying laughing. Not that. Okay, it's not that
You
funny.
haven't laughed at all.
Because if you watch these podcasts in succession, every episode has to look so different. Because
we have made tiny tweaks every single time we've sat down, 24 episodes in a row.
It'd be funny to take a screen grab from every episode and see how different it was. Like when we were filming earlier, when we had the scrim behind us, then we moved here and we've changed the lighting every time. We've changed to a new camera. We've changed our audio setup. It looks and sounds different every episode.
Hopefully we nailed it.
At some point we will figure this out. But
those that are listening are like, we don't care as long as the audio is good. Who cares?
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway.
We do.
Okay, so shall we delve into our list is not in order. So it's not
just a good list of, I think 10, maybe 11 underrated hidden gem things at Hollywood Studios. Let's dive in. So first up, one of the first things I thought about is Gertie the Dinosaur, which is that sweet little green, what is it, a brontosaurus or something? It's one of the long-necked dinosaurs.
Long-necked dino.
I was wondering where you'd go with that.
My ice cream.
Oh, you loved that.
I turned into my mom. My mom had a song for everything growing up, and that's just...
Speaking of your mom, she did share one of her hidden gems. Yeah. We'll have to remember to share. Okay. Let's write that down.
Sorry, continue on. I'll stop singing Garth Brooks over here, pardon me.
I love it. Anyway, it's an ice cream shop, if you didn't know, and it serves soft serve. And I feel like soft serve ice cream, I have a love for all kinds of ice cream, but I love soft serve too. And I feel like it's almost a different animal versus like hand-dipped, scooped, whatever ice cream. And it can be so good when you're in the mood for it. And that they have, I think it was chocolate vanilla, and I'm assuming they have swirl. It was so good. It hit the spot, and there's never a line there. Ever. And so I just feel like it's one of those, you always see the dinosaur, you're like, oh, cute. Yeah, you don't actually think about like, oh, wait, no, but we could actually get ice cream there.
Yeah.
You just look at the cute dino and notice the footprints maybe. And
I haven't met many ice creams that I don't like.
We might have to get some soft serve tonight.
I can turn down cake. I can turn down pie. I can turn down cookies. I don't think I've ever turned down ice cream. It's just
I don't think I've ever turned down any of the things you just named.
I mean,
maybe pie, depending.
I didn't say I do that. I just said I could.
I don't practice it though.
But man, soft serve, scooping ice cream, whatever it is.
I know. Why can't I think of what it's called? Hard dip?
Scoopable.
No. Hand dipped ice cream, like you.
Yeah.
Versus hand cranked ice cream.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I worked at Dairy Queen when I was younger. I'm pretty good at soft serve curls.
We're going to be on a Disney cruise here soon. I'm going to need you to prove that.
I will prove it, and I will prove it
Day
again and
in
again,
and
day
day
in
out.
and day out.
Oh man, that's my favorite part of getting on a Disney cruise. Like day one, going up to the soft serve. Then I know I'm on a Disney cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next on our list is to walk around and see the celebrity handprints in front of the Chinese theater.
Absolutely.
That is, I think every time we walk around, I'll notice somebody. I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize they had the handprints here. But what's funny is it's just yesterday we have like on our TVs like photos we'll stream through, and
Like
we
a screensaver.
right, exactly, and it's always random photos. And in 1997, we went to Disney, and I had a picture of me in front of the handprints and footprints, and it's
5, 6?
I think it was 5. And it's funny because I saw, like, it's a picture of me and my brother and Goofy and all that kind of stuff. And I never really noticed where I was, but just yesterday I was like, oh, I know where that is. And you could see the handprints and stuff. So it's an old school Hollywood Studios thing that I'm so glad is still there.
I would have been really heartbroken. I mean, I just can't envision them ever having taken that up. Because those are like actual, you know what I mean? Like that would just be crazy. And especially considering what Hollywood Studios was originally meant to be and still kind of is. I mean, that's a huge piece of it. I just feel like that's so cool.
But they also got rid of Streets of America. They got rid of
but
On Tour. They got rid of...
Well, don't get me started. But they also replaced it with things that are still like movie franchise. Well, I guess that could be true for almost anything in Disney. But you know what I mean? I feel like they've done a good job kind of leaning into 2024, what people are into, but still following the vibes of Hollywood Studios. Just different.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still sad about some of the things that are gone. But again, another episode. That one is one of my earliest memories at Hollywood Studios was I think we have a picture of me or something like hanging on. Maybe it was like Walt's head or something over there. I don't know. But yeah, just that area makes me so happy and just gives me those original Hollywood Studios vibes that just...
So good. Mm-hmm. Oh, straight up 80s. VHS tapes, the vacation tapes. That's what that is.
Yeah. Yes. Oof. Well, how do I get a candle that smells like the VHS tapes of the Disney planning? There's something there, right?
That's something.
It smells like the smell of... Did you guys ever have those VHS rewinders that you put it in and...
Rewind
that had a smell. That had a smell that was like burning rubber, literally. How do I get that
burning
candle?
tape? Yeah.
And it'd just be called nostalgia. Oh, I know.
That's really good. Don't take that.
Burning rubber. Who wants their house to smell like burning, like rewinding VHSs? Be kind. Rewind.
All right. Next one.
Okay. Vacation Fun Shorts. That is over by, actually just like to the left, going around basically the Chinese theater and that whole area. I didn't even know it existed. I also didn't realize it opened, I think, in tandem with or really close to when Runaway Railway opened, so that it'd be, it was meant to kind of support each other, if you will.
Right, makes sense, yeah.
And it's also, this I also did not realize, is the ABC Soundstage. I wrote down, that's what it was called. That's where that Drew Carey show was, the Sounds Dangerous or Sounds Impossible, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Sounds like something.
Sounds like Teen
But
Spirit.
the chairs in there are so cute. They look like little Mickey pants or whatever.
Yeah.
It is an adorable theater. It's not a very long show, but it's a nice place to go in, get some AC. It's basically different clips from Mickey shorts of them, like different trips he's taken. And
some of it's original. So you saw it when it first opened, because you took the girls when I went to go do something, because Hollywood Studios
Not when it first opened, though, because that was like 2020. It was...
Well, I mean, like maybe a trip or two ago, you took.
Yeah,
I had not seen it until
it
this
wasn't
last
long
trip.
ago.
So you took them, and I finally got to see it this last time. And it's parts of it are original, but then parts of it are from the new animated shorts. And I love those animated shorts. I think they did such a good job. My only complaint is that when you're in Disney, in the rooms, they have them like on a loop on one of the channels, and they play the same 5 over and over and over again. There's like 60 of these cartoons.
There's so many
I'm
now.
like, stop playing the same ones. There's so many good ones. But anyway, I love the style of them, and that's obviously the same style they use in Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway too. That new short style.
That style's grown on me.
I just love
But I
it.
did not at first glance. I liked the shorts, like they were funny.
Yeah.
But that was definitely, it's grown on me.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's like my favorite animation, but the shorts themselves are pretty funny, pretty cute.
Yeah.
Very just classic couple minute cartoons, which you don't see very often anymore.
And I love they're all like, most of them are like some sort of travel theme and that kind of stuff. So they're usually a different place.
Different
But I love
countries.
that. But even when, I mean, this tells you how long they've been coming out now. It seems like they're still so new in my head. But when you and I first started dating, you bought me like a VHS or a DVD.
I was like, whoa.
Not a VHS. Sorry, VHS is on the brain. A DVD of like the season 1 of the Mickey Mouse shorts.
That's right. They have been coming out for a while then, man.
Like 15 years, 10, 15 years, something like that.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's like you said, it's a good place to just hang out.
There's never a line.
Never a
ever.
line. Relax in the AC for 10 minutes.
Kids love it.
Yeah.
Especially young kids that just need a...
Both girls, even our 2-year-old and our 6-year-old, were just glued to it. They
love it.
loved it. So it was kind of a nice, relaxing thing.
Yeah.
And it's, again, I feel like Hollywood Studios is one of those places where you'll take the girls to go do something while I'll go ride a thrill ride, and then we'll swap. So that's a good one to do with kids for a few minutes if you want to do a ride or swap.
Yeah. Sorry, I said like 18 times. So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
stop saying yeah.
All right, I don't know if this is underrated because I feel like people love it, but we have to include it. It's Muppet Vision 3D. I love Muppet Vision 3D.
That's me pushing the thing through the door.
So good.
It's so good.
But I love, from the moment you start to walk in, I feel like people just zoom by it to try and get to the big room where they have the TVs. Like, just take a minute, scoot to the side so people who want to go fast can go around you. But like every
As
door,
if there's throngs of people like
Right.
fighting to get into Muppet Vision.
every door, every sign, everything, even in the hallway leading in, is so funny and so well thought out. And then you go through to where like the big room is, and like I said, I always say, take a lap around the room. Like if you get there, especially when the room is pretty empty, and look at all the boxes. They've got all these jokes on them. They've got the TV screens going; those are funny. But like even before you get to the show, that is so entertaining. Then you get to the actual show, and it's the weirdest. So I read the biography of Jim Henson, and this was one of the last things he worked on, and it's so cool. And I don't know if he was even, I already forget. I don't know if he was alive when it opened or if he was just sort of working with Michael Eisner and getting everything going. So a lot of this is like, very much Jim Henson's hands-on, which is so cool. But then the show itself, you've got actual real-life puppets on the sides. You've got the screen, which is the 3D, and it's so good.
I have a question. So they obviously have Animal. No. What's the name of the big guy that comes out? Buddy.
Oh, I don't know his name.
Well, he comes out, and obviously that's. But are the ones on the sides? I thought the old men are animatronic. Okay, okay.
I said puppets, but I meant they're real, like they're actual physically in the room.
Yeah.
And then you've got the video, which is the 3D, and then they're still. I've said it before. I have sat in every seat in that theater, and every time he comes out, he says, "I'm really just talking to you." Points right at my nose. I don't know how they do it. They've come out with so many 3D things.
Tyler, they are only talking to you. Haven't we gone over this in the podcast?
But they
Tyler really can't stop thinking
so
about
many
it.
other 3D things have come out over the years.
Yeah.
None of them are that good. I don't know how they do it. I mean, I feel it physically touch my nose every time. It goes boop, every time, and I don't know how they do it, and they haven't duplicated it since. So, but then the actual theater is like involved in the show. It's a very multi-sensory experience, but
It's so great.
Gosh, I could talk about it all day. You got the real people, you got the puppets, you got the animatronics, you got the video.
They half the time have that like gift shop closed though, and I always want to go in, and I really think half the time closed.
Well, I think they're renovating or they're doing something because the
maybe
last time we
that's
went
why.
up, there was like black paper in the windows. So I think they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, but
Because
I
I'm
think
like,
they're.
I want a little Kermit the Frog stuffy. Like, where's that?
I don't think they're
I
doing.
want a Muppets mug.
Yeah,
Right? I mean, wouldn't that be great with all the Muppets on it?
but it was there, and we never bought anything there.
Yeah, that's true. All right, next up, Woody's Lunchbox, which I don't think is super underrated at this point as like a new quick service option, but their breakfast bowls are so good. Whether it's underrated or not, I don't care. I need to mention it. They're so good. We've talked about them numerous times on this podcast. And the Pop-Tart, they're like homemade Pop-Tart things too. Those are pretty good too if you're into that. We'll usually get a few of the things and just kind of split them and try them and whatever.
Yeah.
But we each get our own breakfast bowl because I am not sharing that. But it's good. It's like the tater tot based bowl, but it's just something different for breakfast, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it's never let us down.
Yeah.
It's so good.
The first time we had it was the opening day of Galaxy's Edge. We went in and we were there like 4:00 in the morning, like that kind of thing. And then we went and we were leaving and we're like, all right, we're pretty hungry. And so we stopped there and got it. And I remember like, it was just so good. No one was there because everyone was in Galaxy's Edge.
Literally.
And it was so good. But we never tried the Pop-Tart until, I don't know, last year. And it was good. The one they always have on hand, the original one or whatever, the berry one, I like that one better, but they have like a special chocolate one. I didn't really like that one.
Yeah, it
Or
tastes like
s'mores or
Tootsie
something.
Rolls, you know?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
You have to like that chapstick chocolate taste.
Right, which, you know.
God bless, you know?
But yeah, the breakfast bowls, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a place, it's called Sunset Ranch Market. And I honestly, I'm not going to lie, I didn't know this area was called this specifically.
Me either.
Because everyone always talks about, Fairfax Fair, Catalina Eddie's, all these things, which are right in a row, but I always called them by those specific things.
Yeah.
But apparently that whole area is called Sunset Ranch Market.
So yeah, when we were planning this episode, I had never heard that term ever in my life, but I love that area because the few times we've eaten there, you'll sit there and you can find an area like in the shade. There's a lot of seating. It does feel a little chaotic like there because there's a lot there, like a lot of kind of stalls, if you will, that you can walk up to. But lots of different food options. And I love eating there because you're on Hollywood Boulevard. Mm-hmm. The sounds, like they're always playing that old timey music, which I absolutely love. Like listen to in the car all the time, love. And you also hear like the screams from Tower of Terror right there. It is the best vibe just sitting there. It's such a happy theme parky area to sit and people watch whatever while you're eating your food or your mom's. Let's go ahead. This is a good place to insert your mom's favorite spot in Hollywood Studios. She mentioned the ice cream place there.
My mom, Blue Nana, said, I don't know if you consider this a hidden gem, but there is an ice cream shop at the end of Sunset Boulevard called Hollywood Scoops. If you're walking towards Hollywood Tower of Terror, it is on the left. The ice cream is wonderful.
Okay. And also I'm now realizing, that's Sunset Boulevard. I call it Hollywood Boulevard. Hollywood Boulevard is the main street? Does that sound right?
I never remember.
I know, me either. Well, anyway, that's definitely Sunset Boulevard. Thank you, Blue Nana. All right, we just double checked. Yes, Hollywood Boulevard is like the main street, and then Sunset Boulevard heads down to Tower of Terror.
It's one of those things that I just...
Well, and they're so, almost synonymous with each other.
We know where we're going.
Yeah. We know what we're talking about.
Okay, so this is one that we've only done, I think, once.
Maybe twice.
And again, this is truly, I feel like, a hidden gem.
Nobody talks
about it. Most people don't even know it exists. Mm-hmm. The Lightning McQueen Racing Academy.
Do you guys even know where that is? We had to double check. We were like, is that right?
Yeah, it's so hidden back behind...
Rock and Roller Coaster. Yeah. You have to go beyond that, and it's over in the corner. First of all, what used to be there? Anything? So that's question number one. That's a good
question. I don't know what was there.
Question number two then is, did they build this for that? In which case, I'm assuming they didn't. But if they did, how is this not more talked about?
Yeah.
If you are into cars or you have a kid that is, oh my gosh, they would love it.
It's really cool. They seem
pretty cool.
Lightning McQueen comes out and he seems so real. It's so cool.
It's very cool
how they did this. And then at some point they've got the big screens all around. It looks like you're racing and stuff like that. But they did. It's pretty cool. Our girls aren't super into cars, and neither are we. But even still, it's cool. But if you had a kid that was really into cars, I know a lot of kids are really into cars. It's so cool.
And again, usually not a line. You're inside. So yeah, it's one at least worth checking out. We got to go again next time. If you had asked me to guess where I thought in the park it was, I think I would have guessed over by where Vacation Fun is. Yeah. And I don't know why. I don't know.
I knew where it was. And I remember they just got this little courtyard out in front. And maybe because I feel like there was one time where you went to go ride something and I took the girls to it.
Yeah.
But I remember all the cars out in front of it and that kind of stuff. So not only is Lightning McQueen in the show, but they also have Sally and I think some others outside you can take pictures in front of. But yeah, it's just so off in the middle of nowhere. It seems
and such a unique experience too. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of a show, kind of interactive, kind of a mix.
Yeah.
Okay, I love this one. Did you guys know? I know many of you probably do, but there's a walkway from Hollywood Studios to Epcot and vice versa. So if you're walking out of the exit of Hollywood Studios basically before you would split off to go to buses or to go to the
No, it's up by the buses. That's the mistake we always used to make.
That's right. We always
take a
turn and we're
left.
like, crap.
Gotta go
You're
around.
Right. Go around where the Skyliner is, keep going, and then you'll turn left. So it's on the other side of the water. That's what it is. We always try to go where there's that boat, and that's not it. And then we always turn around. You're right. So there I go. I would have done the exact same thing again. And we've probably done it like 5 times.
You know what? We have spent hundreds of nights in Disney, and there's still stuff we don't know.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So anyway, yeah, you basically can walk along the water. It's totally paved. It's a Disney sanctioned walkway. I don't know. What do you?
Yeah.
But you totally can. It's pretty pleasant if it's not crazy hot out.
Yep.
How long would you say? 30 minutes?
We timed it one time, and I have a time lapse of it walking from like the boardwalk there. But we timed it. It wasn't bad. It was like
bad.
15 minutes from the boardwalk, and then maybe add another 5 to 10 from the boardwalk entrance there area to Epcot. So 20 minutes. I would say between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on how leisurely you stroll.
Yeah, and it's just like we said, a pleasant walk. You see kind of areas you wouldn't normally see. You can bring your stroller, and if there's a long line for the buses, Skyliner, whatever, and you maybe are staying in the boardwalk area or whatever, or you're just going to Epcot to park hop, or you're on the Skyliner.
Yeah, because we stayed at the boardwalk.
Although I guess you could have just gotten on the Skyliner Hollywood. Anyway.
So we stayed in the boardwalk area in November. We stayed at the Beach Club, and we could literally just walk. We could walk to Epcot, obviously, but we could also walk to Hollywood Studios, and that was so nice.
So nice.
So here's another one. Are we allowed to host a Disney podcast? There's so much we don't know. We need other hosts.
That's half the fun.
So what we have always called, we knew it was called this. It's called the Tune-In Lounge, but we always called it Dad's Liquor Cabinet. And
I thought that's actually what it was called.
But I know it was called the Tune-In Lounge because there's like a sign in front of it, and I have like video or pictures of the sign.
Yeah, sure.
But so I knew it was called that, but I also in my head I always called it Dad's Liquor Cabinet, and I don't know why. But anyway, I think because at 50s Primetime on the menu, it's like if you order a drink, it says from Dad's Liquor Cabinet.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I had the two conflated.
Well, and it's such a cute, I don't know, but you know what I mean. It's a funny idea that it's in the 50s and that was like a thing. So
yeah.
It's a genius thing to have on the menu, and really, I feel like missed opportunity to just call the bar Dad's Liquor Cabinet.
Yeah. But that's what I feel like we've called it Tune-In Lounge too. Like we knew it was called both, but we always call it Dad's Liquor Cabinet.
But it's cool because it's like a bar, and again, it's got the 1950s motif going on in there, and it's obviously connected to 50s Primetime Cafe. But there's some cool seating there. Like it's just one of those areas that I feel like you don't even notice when you're walking by.
Yeah.
Like you might see the Tune-In Lounge sign and think, oh, it's just another fake sign for something because obviously this is a restaurant here and blah, blah, blah.
It's like between Hollywood and Vine and 50s
it's
Primetime.
literally between them. But it is a thing. It is a bar, and you can go in, and it's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd never hear anyone talk about that.
Yeah, it's a goodie. It's a goodie and a Grady.
You know what would make it great is if they offered the peanut butter and jelly milkshake there. I don't know if they do or if they ever have. I was looking at the menu and I didn't see it on there. I'm like, missed opportunity.
Yeah.
They'd probably have a line out the door.
Honestly, they just have a cart serving that exclusively.
Again,
outside.
Disney, our ideas are free. Here they are. Call it Dad's Liquor Cabinet and sell a boozy peanut butter and jelly milkshake. Oh my gosh. I don't know. That kind of makes me feel sick thinking about that on a hot day.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think I need both. I'll do one. I'll do
one
one
or the
and
other.
then I'll do the other.
Chase your milkshake with. Okay, another one. Again, I'm not sure if this is underrated, but I do think that if someone were spending one day there, they would probably skip this.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's one of the best things to do there and to not skip. The One Man's Dream, I'm going to call it a pavilion, where you walk through. It's like the Museum of Walt Disney's Life. There's so much real life memorabilia in there that is so cool, not just from Walt Disney's life, but also like the company and like certain filming equipment and how it all worked. And then at the end, they have a movie that you can go. I know they just renovated and like, I think all they did was like replace the carpet and seats or something like that. Yeah. And I think they even sometimes do meet and greets back at the very back. I feel like Asha was there recently.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes
Something
they'll
like
switch out that with other things. So it'll be another exhibit for a little while, but they kind of continuously bring back One Man's Dream. But they have like in the back area, a lot of times they'll have like a full scale model of the new Disney cruise ship coming out or the new theme park that's about to open somewhere in the world. So it's kind of cool to see all the stuff about Walt's life, but then they've usually got a special exhibit there in the back and then the movie too.
It's just so cool. I've never been bored walking through that.
Yeah.
And that might be the only museum ever. And I love museums, but you know, if you've gone to one many times, but it's just always interesting and always exciting to walk through it. So maybe it's just because we're into that, but I think most people would be interested. If you're in a Disney park, you probably have some level of interest.
There's a book called Walt Disney by Neil Gabler. And if you find that little museum interesting, you would probably like that book. It's a beast of a book.
It's a big boy, yeah.
But it's so cool because he'll talk about stuff in the book and then you can go and see it there. It's pretty cool.
Ooh. Saved, I think, one of the best for last.
Which is funny because for a long time, you did not like this
place.
place.
I still have some thoughts, but I'll share that. Go on.
Pizza Rizzo. From the moment I stepped foot in there, I loved. I don't know why. I feel like I'm in New Jersey, and it just is
it's definitely Jersey. It's not quite New York.
No, but it's and then there's a room upstairs where it's a wedding going on. The pizza is fantastic and bad all at the same time. It's the I always call it school pizza. It's just the single round pizzas. I love them.
What kind of school pizza do you have?
We always had
the square, the rectangular.
Yeah.
It was you couldn't tell if it was plastic or cheese on the edge, but you were still going to eat it.
It didn't matter.
Pizza day.
But it was that vibe. It's the personal pan pizzas if you read the books for the summer.
Oh yeah, Pizza Hut book it. Oh yeah, please. Yes.
That kind of thing. It's not good pizza, but it's the best pizza. And I just love it. And then they have this upper decker area where you can sit outside and people watch that area.
So honestly, when I added this to the list, I was really just adding the Pizza Rizzo upstairs patio area. Yeah, the pizza's okay. It's not terrible. Please, pizza. It's pizza. But it's certainly not the best. There's other things you could get, but I would still get a Coke, and go sit up in that upstairs patio area because you can people watch. I love what you're looking at, just the kind of street scene, if you will, of the New York-esque vibe, whatever they were going for. I think that is what they were going for. But also if you walk around Pizza Rizzo, both upstairs and downstairs, and there is a lot of seating in there. A lot more than you probably would guess. They have a bunch of New York City memorabilia, but they also have a lot of Muppet stuff too. Yeah. So if you look closely, you'll see a lot of that, which is it's just fun. It's just a happy... I think it reminds me of Chuck E. Cheese in a way, and I think that's a big piece of why.
Yeah.
I
it's so good. I love it.
Okay, so we were just taking some screenshots from our Instagram, which is Disneyville Podcast. If you want to join the conversation, maybe be in an episode, we're going to go through what you guys shared as your favorite underrated hidden gems at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
You guys came through, and I think your guys' list is better than ours. Allison Dalsass said, Batu at night when the park is closing, so there's no crowds. My husband and I say it's our happy place. Oh, yeah. I could totally see that. Really, and there's those different pockets of Hollywood Studios, really any Disney park, that there is something about it that is so cool when it's low crowd, it's evening, everything's cooled down too, and the lighting at night is always cool. They know what they're doing with lighting.
They're cutting the grass outside, so if you hear that, that's what that is.
I'm sure you would have been able to figure it out.
Yeah.
And he'll be definitely looking in the window what are they doing?
So Shenanigans _ said, not sure if underrated, the Tower of Terror Joffrey's is one of my favorite places to get iced coffee. You were just talking about that.
Very cool. Okay, yeah. I'm excited. I just love coffee, you guys. Okay. Okay, Tiffany Byram said, the family bathroom in the AC by Lightning McQueen. So again, that same area, always clean and always open. That is really good to know, especially for a family bathroom. Those, first of all, are never available.
Yeah.
Especially with us with two young kids. Sense. It's really nice when we can snag one because I can take both in, change a diaper, have one go to the bathroom, I go to the bathroom, everyone's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Sarah Holland said beer flight and pretzel charcuterie at Baseline while people watching.
Oh, yeah.
We almost had Baseline Tap House on here, but I'm I don't think it's underrated. I just love it, and I wanted to talk about it. Exactly. But it's not underrated.
I love that.
But it's that I just sitting there and people watching, and I just love that little area. What was it called? The writer's stop or the writer's shop?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And I was sad when that left, but this is Baseline
superior.
Tap House is good.
It's just, that was a great addition.
Yeah.
Megan Ryman said, Indiana Jones, I watch it every time. We don't watch it every time, but every time we do watch it, we're like, we should watch this. We should go to this more often.
Because every time I'm like, oh, how is this still here? They've got to get rid of it soon. And then we're like, oh, that's why. Because it's still so really good.
And people still care about Indiana Jones.
There's still new movies coming out. But no, I know. That's one of those that we saw it, I think, 2 or 3 times ago. And I'm like, it's just... the people, all the stunts, and then the giant helicopters. Like, it's so good to begin with, and then they move
such a
the
spectacle.
huge. It is a spectacle. And think about how many people are involved in that show every day. Mm-hmm. And they've got the helicopters and the fire and it's so good. Mm-hmm. Maddie Wiggs said mango colada at Anaheim Produce, perfect way to cool down on a summer day. I have not tried that. That sounds really good.
That sounds really good.
We've been in a mango mood
We
recently.
have. I just got some mango at Aldi the other day.
Yeah. We had some dried mango. Ooh. Drop the mango and knock some sense in her head. Anybody know that reference?
What is that?
That is a deep musical theater reference.
What is that?
Well, I'm not going to tell. You got to see if people
just whisper to me. I gotta know, what is it? Okay, Monica B. Ben. Sorry, I don't know. Pin trading at Hollywood Studios is elite. Always good find. So I've been dabbling mentally with maybe start I'm mentally there, maybe starting pin trading. And that is always what I hear is you kind of have to know where to look because a lot of the pin trading boards are just, especially if it's not first thing in the morning, are kind of just eh.
Yeah.
So that's good to know that maybe Hollywood Studios is a good park for that. I did notice on their newer maps, they have marked where there are pin boards. It's Disney pins, and it's on there next to it, which I was oh, that's new.
Yeah.
They must be really leaning into it, which they've always had it.
Yeah.
But very cool.
Our friend Amy Lynn Butchin said Muppets by far. It's the whole area, the show, the restaurant. Think about two of our things.
She might get that musical theater reference, by the way. She or her husband. I'd be curious.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'd be curious. All right.
Okay, Roser724 said, meeting Max and Goofy by Grand Avenue in that alcove. A guaranteed low-weight meet and greet. That is so cool. I know we've seen Max and, of course, Goofy, but I did not realize they were doing a meet and greet. That is so cool.
Ugh, love it.
Again, they know what they're doing because we are all of that, Goofy movie generation. Well, obviously,
the parents bringing their kids now are that generation.
That's, I guess, my point. Genius.
Yeah. K. Trogger 95 said Lightning McQueen's Race Academy. Cute show, seating, and air conditioning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's the trifecta.
Yeah.
Cute. Okay, Jordan, our friend. Jordan Makes Magic. Surly Sarlacc cocktail from Ronto Roasters. Best drink in all of Disney World.
Whoa,
wow,
that's
Jordan.
A mic drop.
All right, we'll try it next time. We'll let you know what we think. Holy moly.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was so focused on getting the breakfast Ronto wrap. I haven't even thought about drinks. All right, more orange. Love it. The improv actors, people should take the time to watch. Yes.
They're not
all the
out
street
very
atmosphere.
much anymore.
I feel, I'm trying to think if we saw them last time.
They used to be out all the time. And I feel like it's pretty rare to see them
I feel
nowadays.
We saw them a little more in New York, streets of New York, whatever it is in Disneyland.
Oh,
I think California Adventure.
Yeah.
I feel like we saw them there and it was great. And I was like, oh man. So yeah, but I agree. When you actually catch them, they're so good.
Yeah.
Not only talented, but funny, thinking on their feet, but they're still in this character.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. A-Rays98 said, finding nods to when it was Disney MGM, like bits of the streets of New York or pieces of Great Movie Ride in Runaway Railway. Mm-hmm. Every time you get to the Twister scene in, I almost said the Great Movie Ride. Well, but every time you get to the Twister scene in Runaway Railway, of course.
Yeah, that's what you think of,
The Twister scene in Great Movie Ride. I'm and even when you're going down the construction area, I'm of course thinking of well, what would this have been in Great Movie Ride? I think it'd be the gangster scene or you know what I mean? And I'm
I would love to see an overlay of the blueprints.
The schematics, I know.
Have we ever looked that up? I don't think we have.
I know I did long, when it first opened, because as we wrote it, I'm oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to.
Oh,
I remember doing that too, doing a deep dive into Frozen Ever After.
I remember doing that.
Versus Maelstrom and seeing how and then you could kind of see I remember what this was.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. We watched, or maybe I did it by myself. We watched the ride through of Maelstrom. Mm-hmm. I don't know, a year ago or whatever. And I had forgotten so much of it. And it's funny because now I'm oh gosh, I remember everything about it once it was refreshed.
I'll have to rewatch that. Mm.
Okay, so we always like to read a review. And this one is from Jamie Miller. Says, Dynamic Disney Duo. Said, I found Jessica's channel probably 10 years ago. Since then, I followed your journey through dating, engagement, marries, and babies while living my life on a very similar timeline.
Wow.
I've always loved how you two share your love for each other, your girls, and now Disney with us. Well, technically, you've always shared your love of Disney, but now it's more official.
Yeah.
When we decided to start planning our first Disney trip with our 5-year-old daughter, I knew exactly what to do. We've been working with one of Tyler's wonderful agents.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, at People Mover Travel. and binge watching your podcast and Disney vlogs to get prepared and hyped.
Yay.
Thank you both for sharing your lives, knowledge, and hilarious banter with us.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. And
very
boy,
nice.
You've been around 10 years. You've been around basically since the beginning. So thanks for sticking around. I watch some of my old videos. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why would anyone? But you just like grow up. And I feel like we grew into adulthood on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes hard to go back and watch, even old Disney vlogs where I'm like, oh gosh. But no. So thank you for sticking around through all of that.
Yeah, I went through recently and I'm going to go through even more, but they're like, I would say 70% of my old videos I just took down. I'm like, it's so funny because when you're uploading them, I was so proud of them at the time. And now I go back, I'm like, oh man, I just annoy myself. And
well, I think that's true for anyone,
but
I go back and forth on that. Like, could be a full blown discussion, but yeah, I understand that. And I feel like we've just changed so much. And so sometimes when I'll see reminders of how we used to be, it bothers me because I'm like, no, I've changed. I've evolved since then.
And
I don't like to have that. Yeah, I don't like to have that out there because it's like, well, that's not who I am anymore. Yeah. That's not. So
well, and
no,
not
I
only
totally
that,
get
think
that.
about camera quality. I mean,
yeah,
even just our iPhones. I mean, there's some videos like I was going to do one on Tulum years ago, and it was our nice camera at the time, and I think it was like 720p or something like that. And it's so like I'm like I can't do this video anymore because it's not clear at all. And so
guess we got to go back to Tulum.
And it's oh my gosh, all these old videos, all of them are us filming like this,
just chaotic, shaky, moving all around.
We've gotten a little better about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks for sticking around for 10 years. I guess.
Yeah, really appreciated. Thank you for loving us even when we are weird and annoying. Anyway, thank you guys for all of your input. This was so fun. We're obviously going to do it for all the parks in future episodes.
We decided to start with Hollywood Studios just to get weird with it because we feel like we've talked a lot about Epcot and Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, we were
recently.
like, well, we'll naturally start with Magic Kingdom for this, and we're like, no, let's
get weird with it, man.
Different. Yeah,
we talked about doing one for the park or for the resorts too.
Mm-hmm.
Like hidden things in the
just like the general different Anyway, so stay tuned for that eventually. But we love you guys. Thank you for listening. If you want to see what we're talking about in video form, you can check out our YouTube channel. You may be watching it right now, but the YouTube channel, of course, is Disneyville Podcast. You will find us, trust me.
Or if you're watching it and you want to listen to it in the car, you can always do it.
Same thing. You guys know how it works.
Anyway, we're going to stop explaining modern technology.
What are we doing? We all know.
We'll see you guys later, and we'll see you guys later.
All right, bye.